So, welcome everybody. This is Rich Gurman. I'm the founder of the JV Insider Circle, and I'm excited to welcome you to a JVIC success story. And I'm very excited because this is the very first time that we've done this type of member case study success story interview. And I'm excited not only overall about the concept, but I'm excited that the very first person I'm getting to interview is not only a longtime member of JVIC, but he's also a personal friend of mine and someone that's been a colleague for many years. I've spoken on his stage before. I know a lot of dirt on him that unless he doesn't behave, I won't share because he wouldn't like that. No, I'm just kidding. So you're about to meet one of, in my opinion, one of the greatest people in our industry, not only based on what he does, but just he's an awesome, amazing person. And if you want to know anything about sushi, he is your guy. So Eiji, I don't even know, I barely know how to pronounce your first name, and I don't even know exactly how to say your last name. So for everybody watching, will you pronounce your name in full for everybody?
Yeah, it's Eiji, like the initials. And then last name, in Japan, you would say Morishita, whereas there's the silent I, but in America, it's Morishita, it works. But it's Morishita in Japan and Morishita in America, so to make it easier.
Well, I'm just going to call you Eiji because that's what I always call you, brother.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. This is the first time we've been virtual together or that you've interviewed me, so I'm really excited about that.
And we could have done this in person because you live pretty close by, and we live close by each other. So let's begin. What I love about Eiji is that you are all about helping people, and these are the people in our community in JVIC, people that have a message that they want to get out into the world in a big way and really turn that message into a mission, right? In a big way that's going to, like Eiji works with people that want to basically change the world. He's a huge thinker, and I love that. So tell us a little bit more as we begin, Eiji, about your business model and specifically who your target market is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've been, since 2011, primarily a live event business model where we promote live events and we host 2 to 3 live events a year. And then that leads into our private coaching and mastermind programs. So in 2014, we renamed our business from Genius Squared and really a speaker training business and named it Movement Makers. So for the last 5 years, we've been operating as Movement Makers, and our ideal clients are ambitious entrepreneurs and professionals who really want to make an impact in their business, but also right now, there's a trend going on with the rise of activism and conscious consumerism where it's kind of still early, where people are not always voting with their dollars, but it will become the norm in the next 5 years because women make 80% of the buying decisions and millennials are bigger than the baby boomers, that all the buying decisions will become more conscious over the next 3 to 5 years. And if you're not a conscious business or a business that does good or have a give back or they know why you're in business, you're going to go extinct like the dinosaurs. So even if impact isn't, your number one driver, and income is more of a driver, or freedom and lifestyle is a bigger driver, we really need to pay attention to this trend. So yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful to be here. And a couple things is I think, well, I guess we'll go into it, but it's just interesting because of our relationship together and how we built the relationship on a friendship basis first. And we really haven't even done really quote unquote business together, but we supported one another. You've spoken at one of our stages at a private invite only Movement Makers Playground where you officially won our social entrepreneur award, our inaugural one. And it was an honor having you on our stage. And it was really, really cool. I think Rich might be, he may have been, he still has it. Look at this. So look, check it out. So that's the Movement Makers Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year. And I forgot, it was 2016. I forgot if it was right before, right after you got the big, the viral video of you with the whale. Was that right around that time or right after or right before? getting some, he's going to check. But yeah, of all the people I could think of who embodied a lifestyle entrepreneur of not working 24/7 and not taking vacations and being able to paddleboard every single day and showcase that, you were the epitome and the idea, at least
hold on, Eiji. I'm interviewing you. You're not interviewing me, man, but I appreciate it. I wanted to show this, and my line got muted for some reason, so I just had to get help unmuting. So I love what you do, and I want to talk about joint venturing and how you use that to build your. But first, I want to ask you, like, why do you do what you do? Why is helping people to really turn, I think a lot of people become a coach, an author, a speaker, and they maybe aren't thinking like, oh my God, I can create a movement that can change the world. They might be starting small and they want to just, make 5 or 6 figures to pay their bills and get a little bit. Why do you do what you do to help people really turn their message and their business into something that could change the world?
Well, I mean, why do what I do? Purpose is for me to ignite souls. I mean, I went to my first personal development seminar back in 2001. It was Tony Robbins. I was working in high-tech recruiting before the dot-com really crashed. And I saw him do an intervention on stage where he took this 27-year-old young woman whose eyes were dead. And in about 45 minutes, I saw her bring the light back into her eyes. And I said, wow, that's magic. I want to do that. But who am I? I'm a tech recruiter. I don't know the first thing to do this. And I was sitting in the audience. And I think, since then, people come into my life. And I believe each and every single one of us, that if all we have to do is just follow that feeling of that decision, and then people come into your life who will mentor you and guide you to fill in the gaps. And the movement piece wasn't even, it just came to me. It took a while, but I just said, oh, wow, well, I've been born into a movement with sushi and being pioneers and helping to spread a popularity of sushi. And then there was a project in San Diego where his name is Eli. He had had a class project, and he showed us the free hugs video on YouTube when it was going viral. And we were all inspired, and we gave out hugs in San Diego. And over a course of 3 days, magic happened. We got the local TV, a website, donations, and the Hug It Forward movement began where they went to Europe, gave out hugs. But when they went to Guatemala, I think the universe or spirit or God's bigger vision and picture showed up where the streets were littered in trash. And so someone had the crazy idea of stuffing the trash in these plastic bottles and building schools out of, put chicken wire and adobe. And the first bottle school was built. And since then, it's about 10 years or so, 150 schools have been built. So that proved to me that we don't need to see the whole staircase. We just need to see the next step. So if the next step is becoming stable in your business, which is really important, of earning $5,000 or $10,000 a month, so you don't have to go drive Lyft or Uber or look for a job taking away from your gifts, then I think that's the first step. And then you'll start unfolding. And I think joint ventures, and one of the key things is it really does take a village. I don't believe there's anyone who's truly a self-made person. Sure, it's up to us, but we can't do it by ourselves. At some point, someone had to give us a hand up or lift or pick us off the ground or whatever. And so I think joint ventures is key, because now we're moving that space of collaboration, and it's, competition alone is not enough. We need collaboration. We need joint ventures. We need, more of a cooperative environment in order to thrive moving forward.
100%. And obviously, when you talk about collaboration versus competition, you're speaking my language. So let's get more specific. How specifically, Eiji, have you used collaboration? Have you used JVs to build your business?
Yeah, so early on, I was pretty much offline using speaking. So the early joint venture collaborations was speaking on each other's stages. So that's one of the fastest ways where I spoke on, a speaker speaks on my stage, I speak on their stage. But once I started getting more on the online space, I get invited literally to like 2 or 3 summits a month, and then a giveaway. So just this past month, we did our own virtual summit with 20 speakers. And then I participated being interviewed on 2 summits and then 1 giveaway. So it's almost one a week, but the thing is that doing that summit actually propelled our visibility because everyone's posting on social media. There was buzz around it. We have a whole brand new Facebook group that's free called Movement Makers Collective, and it's growing. And so it's been really, really powerful, but also the connections I made by adding value to giving the speakers more visibility and long-term of openings and connections, it's been priceless.
So for years, I've been telling people, especially people that are new, who don't have an email list, but they want to get into the game of JVs, I've been telling them the best thing they can do is to lead their own summit, because you don't even have to be an expert to lead a summit. You're just going to interview other experts, which kind of makes you the expert. You don't have anything you don't need a product to sell. You don't need an email list, and you're going to create an email list from doing a summit. So what do you say to that person that's, maybe they're hearing this idea right now for the first time, do a summit, but they've never done it before. Why should they be doing it?
They should totally, yes. Summits are probably one of the fastest ways to grow your list. There is work involved, but here's what I recommend is pre-record the video so you take the tech out of it, and you could do it, when it's relaxed. Ideally, get support. Get a virtual assistant who has experience doing summits for you. This last one we did, I had a great VA. If anyone wants a referral for that, I'd be happy to share. But pretty much during the week, it's all pre-recorded. It's all set up. I just have to show up for a few Facebook Lives and a couple things, couple other minor things of just reminders. But I think it was probably one of the least stressful. It was my second summit. It was the least stressful summit. But I say putting on a summit, not only does it grow your list, it positions you as an authority by being an interviewer. So take a look at one of the most powerful thought leaders in our planet, and she made her living just by interviews. It was Oprah. Oprah didn't create anything. She didn't create squat, right? She just interviewed books, authors, thought leaders, and all this, and that's how she did it. But she did have her own take, so you will be able to communicate, connect, and put your take on things. But also, I think it really gets you on the map very, very quickly, and you'd be surprised some of the big names you can get on a summit because you're coming from a pure give. Hey, I would love to interview you. Would you, we're hosting a summit and it'd be an honor to, I'd love to give you more visibility. And you're coming from a total give space that I think it makes a huge difference.
I always joke that nobody ever says, nah, no thanks. I have enough exposure. I have enough visibility. I don't want any more. Those words have never been said. So even if you're new, like we're saying, you can lead a telesummit and people will say yes to being a part of it because everybody wants more exposure. So Eiji, the last question that I have, maybe second to last, but we'll see how it goes. What advice would you give to someone who maybe they feel afraid, they don't know if they've got what it takes to put themselves out there to, maybe it's to lead a summit or to create a big mission that you help people do, but they're afraid. What do you say to those people?
Well, what I say to them is what you're feeling is totally normal, that I feel the same. The biggest challenge I have to get over is, am I good enough? And then once I get over that, it's like, who am I to do this? Who am I to start having a mission to empower leaders to start movements, especially from my background. I grew up in the restaurant industry. I'm not thinking of global projects. But here's the thing is, it's like Nike, except adding a word, just do it anyway, because here's the thing is, it doesn't matter if you think you can or you can't, just do it anyway, because it's going to strengthen you and give you the lessons. And there's that one saying, what would you do if you can't fail? But I love the opposite is, what would you do even if you knew you would fail? If you could take that attitude of doing it anyway, that's really about conviction, that that, the first time out, like if you try to play professional basketball or golf, you don't expect to play at a professional level the first time out. Same with business. It's like, so just go do it as a learning lesson and keep going and doing it anyway. But I truly believe that you have, every single one of us together has what it takes, because it's going to be shown to us, and to not waste any more time thinking if we can or we can't. Just do it, and then that's your scorecard. You might get a C or a D at first, but then it'll be a B, and then you'll get an A, and then you'll get extra credit or whatever. But the thing is, the more time you do it, you'll get better. That's how we learn as kids. And and also, if there is something that's outside your genius zone, guess what? There's lots of people you can partner up with who, you have a weakness, find someone to partner up with who has that as a strength.
I love it. AJ, 2 huge takeaways for me. Just do it anyway. Love that. I'm going to steal that one. And number 2, I love your vulnerability. I think a lot of people might look at someone like you and say, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I'm sure he doesn't feel that way, and that's why he's successful and I'm not. But to hear you say that you sometimes don't believe in yourself at the level that maybe you would like to, it's a very vulnerable thing to share, and it really speaks to the kind of person that you are. So I think that'll help a lot of people watching. So Eiji, thank you so much for being here with me today on this short interview. And I want to thank everybody that is watching. If you are a coach, a consultant, an author, a speaker, or an expert of any kind, like we're talking about with Eiji, we all want more exposure. So whether it's via podcasts or telesummits or speaking on stage or whatever it might be, we want to help you get that exposure. And imagine that anytime you had something that you wanted to promote, like a telesummit that Eiji did, or maybe you have a program or a product or an event, wouldn't it be great if you had great partners who are ready to spread the word about you? That's why we love JVIC. We're the #1 community of JV partners who support each other to share their messages, to get more clients, and make a bigger, more positive impact in the world. So you can join us in the JV Insider Circle today by going to joinjvic.com. That's joinjvic.com. Thank you, Eiji, and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.